Alright, welcome back. This is our second video and today's going to be a good one. I have spare ribs and I have baby back ribs. And we're going to cook them, we're going to season them, cook them, and taste them and compare which one we like the best. In personal preference in the past, I've always liked the spare rib more than I do the baby back rib. And that's just personal preference, but we're going to go ahead and see which one turns out better today. Just to let you know, if you like our videos, please hit the subscribe button where the bell's at and like it, and leave us some comments and some feedback. Obviously, I'm not perfect and I'm willing to try different techniques, so feel free to write a message or whatever. All right, so let's jump into these two cuts of ribs. The spare rib typically does come from this part of the portion of the pig. It comes from about right here, and it's right where the pig belly is and your bacon, and that's they cut that pig belly out, and then you get that bottom layer or actually I guess you could almost consider it the top layer of that pig belly left on that rib. And that's why you tend to have more marbling and more fat on the spare rib. To me, this rib comes out very tasty. It's got a lot of flavor and is a very good rib. And then you have your loin back rib, or as they're more preferably known, baby back rib. And this comes from the back side of the pig where the loin's at. They'll cut the loin out and then they'll make this cut. They'll cut the rib, and that's the part of the, that's the loin back or the baby back rib. So there it is. We're gonna season these both the same, and we're gonna put them on the cooker. We're gonna cook them for the same amount of time, and then we'll let you know how they taste. But as soon as we get back, I'm gonna show you removing that underskin on this spare rib, and then we'll go to seasoning. Okay, so now we are going to remove this skin that's on here, this little, I call it blue skin or silver skin. I don't know, it's just a membrane. It's a real thin membrane on the bottom side of these spare ribs. And it just helps, I guess, when that, keeps all these ribs in line and everything when the pig's still alive. Anyhow, I'm going to show you somewhat an easy way to remove this. I just typically like to take my knife and get a good little pull on it. Just kind of start removing it like that. And just be careful. Obviously you're messing with a knife. And then I take a paper towel, and I can usually get a pretty good bite on that thing. And I just pull that stuff off. And, some people don't remove this. I don't guess you technically have to. I've actually not removed it in the past. I don't know, I prefer it to be removed though. So you just pull it off. Make sure you get it all off the rib itself. And when you go to cut and everything, that's typically when you'll see the biggest difference. And it comes off fairly easy. It's a little time consuming, but I've only got one rack, so I might as well pull it off. It's kind of how I feel about it. So as you can see, it's not the easiest thing to take off, but this paper towel, all it does is help hold or get a grip on that skin. If you're trying to do it just with your fingers or gloves, it's a little bit more difficult. Alright, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Sometimes on spare ribs, when you get them from H-E-B or your grocery store, they'll leave this flap of meat here. This set of spare ribs didn't have it on there, but typically I'll just cut that off. And all that flap, it's still a good piece of meat. It's just when you go to season it, you'll have this flap, and underneath, none of that will be seasoned. It kind of makes it look off. Okay, so we're back. We're getting ready to season these things, and typically what I like to use on my ribs, pork ribs anyhow, is I'll base this with some mustard, and I just put a little bit on there so you can, all it is a binder for your seasonings, just to get your seasoning to to stick. So just a little bit of mustard, and then we'll go with our nature seasoning, and we'll go ahead and just put a small coat on this, nothing thick. I just want it barely on there. And you know, there's really nothing special about this seasoning. It's just got garlic and onion powder and stuff in it, and I like to use it just about on everything. And then I'll take my salt and pepper, and I'll go ahead and get all the sides that I can. You know, get that pretty good, and that salt and peppers. And all this is just kosher salt and coarse ground pepper. I'm try to get all these. All right, and that's that top side. We'll flip this sucker over. Add the mustard. Move that around in there nicely like that. Nice thin coat. Go back with the nature seasoning. And I'm pretty much just dusting this thing. I'm not doing much more than that. Okay, go with some salt and pepper. There, now I got all sides, and we'll move over to the baby back rib. Okay, and now we're on to the baby back rib. Like I said, we're just going to put a little bit of mustard for a binder on this one as well. Not a whole lot. And just rub it in. And this just helps, you know, get the seasoning to stick to the meat. That's all it's for. You know, I'm sure there's people that'll say that the mustard makes a difference. I can't taste it when I cook. On the beef ribs we did last week, I used hot sauce. But anyways, nature seasoning. Just get a little fine coat on that. Do this side. Get this side. Some salt, pepper. You know, and the other thing that the mustard helps with is you don't have to pat this seasoning in there. That's what I mean by a binder. It's going to stick to this thing. It's not going to go anywhere. So you don't have to sit there and mash the seasoning in or anything like that. And just pour it on there, sticks to that mustard, and it ain't going nowhere. It ain't coming off, none of that. Just got the bottom side. Same thing. Now with these baby back ribs, you can see it. These curve up where the spare ribs typically are a lot flatter. I like to keep my seasoning as even as possible. Sometimes you may miss a spot, or you may put too much in one spot. It'll be all right. I can promise you this: you can't go wrong with either one of these ribs the way we're barbecuing them. So, anyways, we'll be back in a minute, putting them on the pit, and show you how long we get them on there, and we'll go through the whole process. Okay, so we're getting ready to put these ribs on the pit. Today we're going to go ahead and use my offset smoker. I'm using pecan wood, and we're going to let these, we're going to do the 3-2-1 method. 3 hours on the smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and then 1 hour unwrapped, and then of course we'll let it rest. My temperature is exactly 275, and that's what we're going to cook the whole duration of the barbecue. So, all right, I can go ahead and put them on right now. Put these baby backs back here, right there, and I always try to get the thicker end towards the heat source, because that's usually, you know, it's going to take longer to cook. Same with these, thicker end towards the back. They're on, they're ready to go. We'll check in about an hour. About an hour and a half since we put these ribs on the smoker, and I'm going to kind of open the box up, let y'all check them out, show you what I like, and then we'll spritz them, and we'll come back probably about another hour. And once again, just to let y'all know, I've been at 275 pretty much this whole time. Alright, as you can see, they're starting to change color a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more of a mahogany red color, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I can tell you that these are nowhere close to, you know, being ready to wrap. Probably got another 2 hours. So I'm just going to lightly spritz them just for some moisture. Doesn't really add any flavor or anything. And that's it. We'll be back. Okay, we're back, and it's been about 2.5 hours. I want to go ahead and check these ribs, see where they're at. Spritz them again, and we'll get back and probably wrap them here within an hour. So let's go ahead and check them out. Oh yeah, look at that color. These are coming along pretty good. I like to pick these up just to kind of see where they're at, and these are pretty stiff still. Let's see where these baby backs are at. Yeah, so they still got quite a bit of time left. They've got good color. So I'm just going to give them a spritz, shut the lid, and we'll come back in probably about an hour and see if they're ready to wrap. Okay, so we're back. This is hour number 3, and we're going to take a look at these. I'm almost 100% sure that these are ready to pull. We're going to go ahead and pull them. I'm going to show you how I wrap them, what I wrap them with, and we're going to put them back on the pit. So let's take a look at these bad Mamba Jambies. All right, so you can tell got some real good coloration. I got some rib. The meat's drawing back from the rib. That's what I'm looking for. And then I want to just see how stiff these are. These are still pretty stiff. They're not falling apart, but you can tell that these are been cooking for 3 hours. They've got good color, and these are ready to go in some foil. Let's check out these. These are a little bit looser, you know, so we'll go ahead and get these in some foil, put them back on there, and we'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, we're back, and we're about to start the wrapping process, and the first set that we're going to put on is going to be the baby back rib. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to put this. Now what I use here, and hopefully it's probably got this deal on it. Get that out of there. Okay, I'm going to use this soft squeeze butter. I'm just going to put a little layer down right here. You can use regular butter. I just like to use a little bit of soft. It's just easier. That's the only reason why I'm doing this with this stuff. Put a little bit of honey on that. little bit of brown sugar. Not a whole lot. This is just for the underside. I'm just going to take this rib just like that, place it right there. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to repeat. Just like that. A little bit of butter. Put that honey on that. And get a little bit of sweetness, not too much, along with the brown sugar. That's going to make these things just taste excellent. Can't wait to take a bite of these. And these are the baby back ribs. And there we go. Now we'll just wrap them up. I like to wrap them tight. Just like that. Give myself a little bit of a handle when I'm transporting them out of the barbecue pit. And that's the first set is down. That's the baby backs. So set these aside. Go ahead and get this one. Repeat the same process again.
A little bit of butter. A little bit of honey. Put down some brown sugar. Add some butter to this sucker. Look at that. These are going to be delicious. A little bit of brown sugar. Alright, so that's it.
And they're ready to go back on the pit. Alright, so we're back out here. We're going to put these ribs back on the barbecue pit. We're at 275. We've maintained that temperature pretty much all day. You know, occasionally you'll get some fluctuations. You go inside and get distracted for a minute, come back out here, and it's at 225. You're going to be all right. You just want to maintain it the whole time, pretty close to 275. And so we're getting ready. We're going to put these back on the pit. All right. We'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, so it's been roughly about 2 hours. I'm going to get ready to pull these and put them back on the pit and let them smoke for roughly about another 30 minutes to an hour. So I just want to kind of let you see what the ribs look like, and then we'll place them back on the pit outside the tin full, and we'll go from there. So come on over and check this out. All right, so here's the baby backs. Go ahead and pull these right here, and grab this from right here, the spares. Oh, you know what? Let's leave these open. All right, so here's the baby back. They've been wrapped for about 2 hours, and these suckers are ready to go back on. We're gonna give them a little bit more smoke, and then we're gonna pull them off. So when I go to pick these up, you can see that there's, you know, it's pretty loose. They're not quite ready, but 1 more hour on that smoke and they'll be good to go. Let's just kind of do a bone pull test, and you can see that there's some play. It's not quite ready to pull out yet, so yeah, we got at least probably a good hour left on these. All right, let's get these spare ribs out. Look at those bad boys right there. Let's take a look at these. Yeah, these are looking good. Look at that nice color. So, yep, these still need about another hour. They're ready to go back on. So I'm gonna put them on here. Give them another hour, and then we'll take them off, let them rest, cut them up, and eat them. Okay, so we're back. I pulled the ribs off the barbecue pit, and we're ready to cut them up and see how these things came out. And we'll do some tasting and kind of just go through the motions and see which one we like better. So this is the baby back rib on this side, and then this is the spare rib. So I'm going to go ahead and cut into this baby back, just kind of see what it looks like. Dog can smell it. All right, let's take a look at these. So they're got some pretty good juice to them. They're pretty lean. They seem pretty tender. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a taste and see what I think about. Got some good pull to it. It's really tender. Just basically comes right off the bone. That's pretty good. That's real good. All right, so now we're going to move on to the spare rib. Put the bone in there, flip these over. Yeah. Alright, let's give these a taste. See what kind of juice they got in them. Oh yeah, nice and juicy, tender. It's got a good color, skin looks good. Let's give this one a shot. That one was pretty good too. Texture's good. It's got good moisture. Tastes good. Good pull. Not too tender. And definitely not tough. That's just both these ribs turned out really good. Not gonna be hard for me to decide which one I like the best. So we'll bring in Kylie and let her do a taste test on each one. See what you think. Come on.
This one and that one?
Yeah, so that's the baby back. That's the first one you're gonna taste. How was that? Is it tender?
Mm-hmm.
Juicy? Good flavor?
Mm-hmm.
Did you eat it all? Not the whole rib.
Oh. Yes.
Give that one a taste. Well, which one do you like the best?
This one.
Oh, wow. So she likes the baby back ribs. I'm still pulling with my spare ribs. I like those a little bit better. You want to give this a shot and see which one you like better, Colin? There's blood on that side. Yeah,
Nice and sweet, juicy, easy to bite into.
pulls right off the bone pretty much, right?
Try this one. Good. Juicy. Easy to pull off too. I like this one better.
Uh-oh. Baby back 1, 2-1. They're both good ribs. Cook them right, they're both going to turn out good. Doesn't really matter. Spare ribs to me still my favorite, but these baby backs they're really good too. Both my kids like them, so if you're cooking for a bunch of kids, hey, probably can't go wrong with baby back. All right, well, thank y'all for tuning in this week, and we'll see you next time.